Welcome to this edition of Spend Matters Pulse. This week we're going to look at technology spending decisions for 2011. We recently surveyed the Spend Matters readership base and found some intriguing findings when it comes to where companies are going to spend money next year and which vendors they're inclined to spend with or not spend with. Let's quickly get into our results. The first question we asked is, in what areas do you plan to prioritize new or expanded procurement investments in technology in 2011? Here, it wasn't surprising that purchase to pay, which we often get asked about, came out on top of the list. But what did surprise us is that supplier management, which includes supplier information management, risk, and diversity, came out very high as well. This is in contrast to past years when sourcing, spend analysis, contract management, and other areas most likely would have edged out supplier management. So some intriguing findings there. We next asked, what deployment models are you most likely to consider for transactionally focused applications, which is to say purchase to pay applications? And here we saw an intriguing split between SaaS and cloud solutions or installed software. So clearly there's interest in both. We also asked our readers which areas for strategic applications and decision support applications are they most likely to consider. And here we saw a preference for software as a service and cloud. However, it wasn't a strong preference. There are still many organizations considering installed software in these areas as well. Probably the most fascinating question, and bear in mind too, this is not a statistically significant sample. We're not talking about 500 respondents, but it is interesting to note which vendors companies are positively inclined towards or negatively inclined towards. On the positive side, Ariba came out with a strong showing, as did Mtaurus, Iasta, and SAP. On the negative net impression side towards considering, Ariba, Mtaurus, SAP, SciQuest, and Zycus all shared at a similar level for net negative impressions, though Mtaurus and SAP were slightly higher in this regard. The final question we asked is, are you most likely to buy solutions individually from providers, or are you inclined to purchase suites or integrated packages? Fascinating response here. In years past, at least in recent years, we saw a movement towards purchasing single modular areas, or two or three at the most in most cases. But the respondents this time around suggested that they were more likely to purchase 2 or 3 modules together, or in the majority of cases in terms of survey response, likely to purchase an end-to-end sourcing and procurement suite at the same time, or at least more than an individual module. So we see a trend towards considering broader suites. Thanks so much for turning into this edition of Spend Matters Pulse.